take that one first, which they will. But their opponent's pretty good, Kobe, as it turns out. So not only is Broxah like kind of rusty, maybe hasn't had a chance to play with this team certainly, but he has to play against maybe the best team in the LCS right now. So if there is any way to kind of like, I don't know, get your feet wet back in the LCS finally after you've arrived with, you know, less than 2 days of being in the country, yeah, sure, why not Cloud9?
Yeah, I seem to remember last time after Broxah finally got his visa issued for Team Liquid, it was a little bit rocky as soon as he got over here. So hopefully this time around, start off with a bang. Rell already, though, I feel like is the best support in the game right now. She's so good for team fighting compositions, and that makes it very, very simple for CLG. They have some direction already for their team comp, for their draft. Lots of really big setup there, as well as very strong from the bottom side of the map. Turtle and Smoothie, I think, have been performing really well kind of under the radar, definitely doing some work for the team. Going to be some stiff competition going up against Zven, though, with the Kaisa lock-in already. Still one of the most highly prized AD carries of them all.
Yeah, seems like at least considered the best AD because she's always first picked whenever she's available. So alongside Gragas, which could be support, but more likely there for Fudge in the top side. Seen a lot of tank Gragas just setting up play after play after play. Just a super good champion, and also does have that flexibility. Xayah has been picking up speed, so that will be the option here for Total. Maybe they'll pair it with Rakan. They actually already have Rell, so that's not going to happen unless RJS is really digging deep on the champion pool. So instead it will be a jungler locked in as Lillia is selected for Broxah.
And the Gragas, I also do expect, especially once we get to 11.4, for us to start to see more flex into jungle Gragas. So sometimes there's a ripple effect where, you know, new patch goes out on live, junglers are practicing on live, and they start to embrace stuff that's already one patch ahead of what LCS is. And then they're like, oh yeah, we could just do this in LCS right now already as well. So it could possibly still flex to the jungle. So I do like the early pickup of champions like Gragas that are so flexible like this. Keep them guessing as far as the top lane matchup, so you can continue to draw more pressure, more bans here. Looks like they are going to still target some of the jungle champions, though, taking out some of the more hard carry ones, as we are still on 11.3, and Blaber has been the hardest carry jungler in the league.
Yeah, for a while it feels like his Hecarim is taken off the board. Orianna also taken away, so RJS maybe going to lose Zoe here as well. That's kind of been his two most go-to picks, but it will be Camille banned away from Finn instead. That leaves CLG with one more ban. We'll see if they keep targeting Blaber, but the thing about this jungle patch, at least, as you mentioned, we are still on 11.3. The number of good junglers is extremely high. Like, we see Udyr banned so often on red side. We've seen two other junglers banned in phase 1, and I feel like Blaber's still going to get a good pick, even if they do go with another jungle ban. Instead is actually Tristana, which has been surprisingly popular in the mid lane, actually, of course, with Kaisa pick not going to be playing at bottom lane, but Blaber, sure, why not Rek'Sai again?
Yeah, it's always so funny to me to look at the, social media or the threads after Cloud9 games, and they're like, why did you give Blaber X champion? Yeah. You can't give him Kindred. Oh wait, you can't give him Rek'Sai. Oh wait, you can't give him Olaf or Udyr or Graves or, what can you give him? Like baby-proofed rubber ball or something that's no sharp edges so he can't hurt anybody?
Take his keyboard away.
That's like the only thing you could actually give him. Last time around, the Rek'Sai, this came from a game where I believe he had 4 or 5 jungle bans against him, and was like, okay, we'll dip into the pool for Rek'Sai. Guess what? Even without the extra forced bans, did like the offensive look of it. It's another jungler that I do expect also to rise on 11.4 because there are less resources in the jungle, more gank-heavy style. Rek'Sai is the perfect snowball gank-heavy AD threat that you want to use right now. Prowler's Claw works really well with offsetting some AP topside, and it looks like Fudge will retain his Gragas pick, and we just have to figure out what Perkz wants to play into Zoe. There you go.
Yeah, Vulcan having some fun, but it is going to be Ryze into Zoe there. RJS kind of as expected, taking that pick. I think it's been probably his best looking champion, although he's actually been quite good all around, especially on a new player on a struggling team. We'll see how CLG's now, I was going to say intended starting 5, but I guess this is now the starting 5 they've gone with, given how up and down their season has been. But Ryze,
yeah, don't forget about POB.
Don't worry, I won't.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see too, because when I did talk with them, they weren't set on this lineup. This is not the guaranteed lineup for the rest of the season. They're still wondering how will the moving pieces work, because yes, they changed out POB when they still had Griffin, but now that Broxah's in, mid jungle synergy is so important. Yeah, maybe we do see Pobelter come back. Maybe we don't. We'll have to see. Look into the vault of this CLG scrims and testing and what works out the best. But for this game right now, I do like that they have Finn on his Aatrox. This is one of his most played champions of all time. Very comfortable on it. Into the Gragas is completely fine matchup, and he was the big carry for their win. And he was on Aatrox as well, into a worse matchup. So let's see what he can do this time around on it.
Well, we'll have to see here. CLG are going to move out onto the Rift, all grouped up together towards the bottom side of the map. So I believe a level 1 is on the horizon. On that top lane matchup, though, certainly do like that Finn is back on comfort, back on the champion. He carried CLG to their first win of this part of the season with. But it's probably not going to be a pure 1v1 if I had to guess. Nice ward also, by the way.
Already, I like the attempt here from Cloud9. They saw last week CLG multiple level 1 first bloods. 2 of them before minions even spawned. A lot of these creative level 1s from CLG. So what did Cloud9 do? Defensive wards all across the map. From top to bottom. There's one up on Tribrush. There's 2 down here in the river that see this attempted invade. And they even take that opportunity once they do get first sight of CLG to go place a deeper ward to track Broxah's pathing. This is already being set up as a very difficult return to the LCS for Broxah. That deep ward, I believe Perkz was the one to place it, is going to see him as he transitions up to the top quadrant of the map.
I like this from Broxah, though. Very responsible with your sweeper just to check, right, if any deep wards have been placed. Unfortunately for him, there are no wards on this side of the jungle. But as you said, it's going to give Cloud9 a lot of information about pathing here. So you can very reasonably guess this is where Broxah is. You can probably even guess it's this camp based on the champion he's playing. But Blaber, not going to worry too much. Just going to full clear. He's at red side of the map by the looks of things.
Yeah, a lot of jungling in the early game, tracking the enemy jungler, is just process of elimination. Use the information that you have, which is a lot on the side of Cloud9, and you can easily isolate and then even track the jungler for the duration of the early game. So this sets up Blaber with a lot of options. Remember, you pick Rek'Sai because of her level 3 power. Tunnel is so versatile. You can go over behind the Baron Pit, you can go even behind a top laner over the thick wall at their own tower. You see how Finn is pushing out. Rek'Sai is one of the few champions that their gap closer does not actually take away their CC ability. So there's so many options here. We'll just do a full red side clear here for Blaber. Doesn't want to fall behind in experience, as we still are on 11.3. Wants to get the juicy gold and experience building up.
Yep, of note that ward did expire that Perkz put down, but again, Broxah took so long to finish, he didn't see anything, so again, you probably have a pretty reasonable guess you can make here about where Broxah is, but I think both these junglers pretty content in farming it out for now. As we can see Blaber on the wolf camp, Broxah going to go ahead and take his blue. Fudge was getting pushed in a bit, did lose the race to level 2 as kind of expected, but has kept away pretty close to his tower, so should be just fine here despite being currently down a wave in CS. I can't imagine it's not going to be close in the early game farm without jungle intervention.
Yeah, and I think Lillia just can continue on the normal clear here. You see Blaber going bottom side crab as well. Slightly faster clear for Lillia, no problem. Blaber basically is looking at lane setup for these. Oh, the burn on the crab, not enough. You usually like to walk away with a little bit of burn left on it, but one more auto going to lose him a slight amount of time, and Broxah retains this small tempo lead. We'll see if he goes for the reset here or continues back to Raptor Krug clear on second respawn of those. Get to his level 5.
Well, bottom side has been really interesting, actually. Zven and Vulcan completely overtook this 2v2 early on, but that's what, about 2 waves of minions that Turtle and Smoothie are going to have to try and deal with under the tower. There's, what, 7 there in front of Turtle right there, 6 behind, so should be just fine if he gets most of those under the tower, and looks like he will. But potentially something set up there for Zven and Vulcan. Seen a lot of bottom lane dives early on, mostly in the 100 Thieves camp, but Vulcan at least going to use this pressure to walk into the jungle with Blaber, and we'll see Broxah here. That's an easy combo, and now Blaber's coming in. And Guide is down. Vulcan just going to get the stun. Blaber, surely you can flash. Instead, just going to waste Broxah's flash. Nice commitment there for Vulcan. Not using too much, but does get a lot of value there out of that invade.
Yeah, that's a very necessary flash there, because if you wait half a second more, Blaber is in range for the burrowed flash unburrow, and you are toast. Broxah already, burning some summoner spells here. Not too bad, though. Still retains the extra camp lead that he had on Blaber. No gold given over. Just has to be a lot more careful now when looking around these lanes. Broxah's now going to have to focus a lot on getting some control wards and vision up for the team, because Rek'Sai with the passive radar does get a little bit of a sneak attack opportunity here when you are first venturing out to try and get some wards down. And since, Vulcan and Cloud9 kind of displaying the power of support jungle synergy there, roaming together, now Broxah, without the support of Smoothie on Rell, who's a lot more lane focused, is going to be a potential target for Cloud9.
All right, well, bot laners have already taken their first back. It's double longswords for both of them here, as Turtle is about a wave behind, but again, nothing too wild there. Smoothie going to actually take some time to rotate around, mounted up, walking towards the mid lane. Maybe going to pop that plant. Indeed will. Sees that no one's on the dragon at least. That's actually a nice little bit of reconnaissance there for Smoothie as he puts a ward on the left side of that river. And RJS is getting pushed in by Ryze, because it's kind of how this matchup goes. Perkz with Cleanse is just trying to clear these waves and reset as often as he can. Whereas RJS has a bit more flexibility with teleport as his main summoner, with that spellbook under there as well. So just kind of chilling out here. CLG technically up 100 gold, but not too much.
Yeah, a decent amount of it is from the lane pressure Finn is putting out. There's plenty of CS here for Fudge to pick up. Double stacked wave, and at this point you do have to be a little bit cautious about big stacked waves like this, because those right there are perfect dive opportunities for your opponents to just even force you off the wave to start to lose a decent amount of golden experience. But it gets collected right there. Broxah's just farming his own jungle. No extra pressure from CLG, and Fudge catches a meaningful amount right back up in the CS, although Finn still retains a decent amount of his lead. Blaber here also looking for his level 6. Rek'Sai level 6 definitely has a lot of the kill threat and a lot of possibility for them to even force something around the bottom half and just get a dragon. By nature of their bottom lane pushing in, Perkz pushing in, should be picked up pretty quickly.
Yeah, potentially setting something up in the future as well, but for now going to use this priority to take away that dragon. The Blaber stole the Raptors, he's going to go ahead and take the Drake, and Broxah in the area, but not around to steal it. No smite, but no problem there for Blaber to have coverage from his team, so it does take the dragon successfully, and is now going to take a recall.
Honestly, teleport used right back out the lane here for Fudge too. I wonder if Finn is going to be able to get something going for CLG, as he has done very well into this matchup thus far. And there's no real reason why Fudge should be able to turn it around with that extra teleport forward pressure. So Finn, if he can actually get the push back, open up maybe a teleport play. When you have Lillia level 6, this is now where Broxah gets to kind of retake some of that control. You throw out your swirl seeds down through these lanes, fishing around for possible sleep opportunities to set them up. And Finn, yeah, he definitely still has pressure put on Fudge despite the teleport difference here. So we'll see if CLG can make anything of this pretty long teleport timer, where they will have a decent amount of cross map pressure. I would say Cloud9's answer to that should be Blaber coming up, trying to get some more vision around here, so they can think about this Rift Herald. And you already see Vulcan on that recall from support. Once again, he's going to link up with Blaber and try and have a 2v1 situation towards that Rift Herald.
So, RJS TPing back in. Does have his last chapter finished. It's actually very early Merc Treads here for Perkz, alongside that tier and a bit of MR plus some extra mana. It does have Cleanse as well, so very much keeping things safe against 2 sleeps. They have both Zoe and Lillia on CLG's side, and Cloud9 actually now translating Vulcan's pressure out into the top side of the map, but Smoothie's already roamed, so Rift Herald not going to go without a fight. So Cloud9 just decided to walk away, not going to overcommit to that objective when they don't need to.
Yeah, the Merc Treads are so easy to purchase here, because you're facing double magic damage in the jungle mid combo for Perkz, as well as worrying about the double CCs that you're talking about. So you get so much value out of it. And Blaber and Vulcan once again working really well together. They do have the extra information, but Blaber is separated, so I think they're just going to retreat. One turret plate picked up here for Zven, and they slowly continue to increase these leads.
Ooh, Turtle is eating a lot of damage.
One
there,
feather?
Suspects there's a jungler in the area, but no ulti there for Vulcan. That looks like a kill to me. Indeed it is. It's first blood as Zven needed to be covered, and Smoothie just picks off the easier target.
I want to hear those comms, because that seems crazy, watching the last minute of action where they just invaded. Blaber Rek'Sai passive saw the extra pings from Broxah moving over as well. I feel like Cloud9 had to know that bottom side was overloaded. Blaber already left, and it looked like Zven was fine. He's got cleanse and flash, so this is, yeah, that is... We're going to have to wonder what happened to the comms on that one, because Vulcan, it looked like he was just going head first into the dirt. CLG got first blood again. Pastry, those early game stats.
But keep going. Gold is even as a result. Perkz was also like halfway down the river with his ultimate, so I don't know if there was... He was saying, I'm going to be there, and then just decided to turn around for whatever reason, but didn't work out.
He had a little Matador cape, red flag there, and Vulcan saw red. He couldn't help himself. Charge in for it.
The classic pre-6 face rush Ignite Alistar. You know, very tanky. Unfortunately meets his untimely end there on the bottom side. But again, going to shrug it off here for Cloud9. They're still up in gold, actually. And Perkz has been farming up a storm. The first player to break 4K, with Zven not far behind him there, just above Finn, who's also doing well on the CLG side. But awfully slow right now. I mean, this is... Certainly we know Cloud9 can play faster. We actually have seen some good early game from CLG as well, but at least for now, both these teams pretty content to just kind of relax. In fact, Broxah just taking that Rift Herald as the extension of all the things that just happen around bottom side, picks it up without contest.
It has been so interesting with CLG because they have had a lot of these bright moments, but then you remember so clearly the ones where it all went bad. And a lot of them have been around the later game objectives. You know, Baron a couple of times, getting picked, you know, people going in towards outnumbered positions, kind of late game lane assignments as well, going a little askew and costing them. But they have definitely had decent Rift Trail control and a decent amount of early games for themselves. Broxah picking the Rift Trail up here feels good for them. See if they can actually get a lane to use it, though. The only one that has been pushing at all has been Finn. And that would be the one where you could get some plates, but Dragon is spawning on the bottom side, so don't want to overcommit up on the top side as of now until you kind of pass this window.
All right, well, let me tell you, if there's a fight, Tank Perkz has got it under control. Actually, he's top lane instead, so the fight is going to be here, but in the other side of the map, as Finn just pops World Ender and runs away, that should open up the Dragon at least for CLG to move into the area, and it looks like the R&D going to take that control.
Yeah, it looks like a Rift Trail opportunity, actually. Oh, Perkz is not defending the tower. They shove up the lane. Maybe they... okay, he's not actually using it for distraction. Retreating after pushing the minions here and making sure they have full control. Smoothie even looking at a possible dive here. Let's go. This is going to be 2 turret plates worked off by hand. And maybe they go for the full play here. Reinforcements arriving quickly, though.
WildJS just missing that portal jump paddle star combo. Also had a Shirley's they picked up off the ground, so not going to be able to use that, unfortunately, as it times out, I think. But Rift Child does charge down to the bottom side. Some plate gold goes over. CLG still retaining some control of this river. They do have the speed train collected, but Blaber's going to clear out their vision, and that crab's not going to last forever.
I have to say, I'm already getting a lot more calm vibes from CLG than previously, you know, with Broxah joining here. He is definitely a veteran jungler and does like the more calm early games. So them getting full value out of the Rift Herald, 2 plates by hand, then the next 2 with the Rift Herald activation is some good money to help them try and catch up to Cloud9, and they even surpass them a little bit. But giving up the extra Dragon on reset here does set up Cloud9 for a lot of control towards the bottom half of the map. And Zven even gets to answer a turret plate of his own anyway.
Yeah, Sven's just really chilling out. He's been pushing the lane the whole time. He's collecting plates. Gets 1 more before they time out. Gale Force is done for Turtle. And Zven, of course, with the The standard serrated Dirk stop-off point is going to be a little bit delayed on the Mythic, but still up in CS, feeling good as Fudge is continuing to try and dodge Aatrox Qs. It's not been a particularly fun job, but it is a full-time one here as Fudge gets the ulti down because there's two more members of Cloud9 running in hot. There's the chilling smite down. Finn, well done to again to get up, but Blaber's going to follow there with the Rek'Sai ulti. The knockup is not going to fall, but Fudge will find the stun, and now Broxah going to get kicked away by Vulcan as he rams him away. Now going to fall asleep, going to pop the ulti though to cleanse off the stun incoming, and very clean from Cloud9 to pick up Finn.
Yeah, really good force right there. They know once that Gragas ultimate hits and you don't flash to the other side of it to make the direction the other way, he's got plenty of distance. RJS now.
Perkz going in. Now no ignite there for Perkz, but I don't think it matters. I think Perkz can line this up. There's the Kaisa W. Good flash from RJS though. Gets himself out safely.
Whoo, yeah, that's not going to last too long, though. Cloud9, so much momentum. Topside kill, then walking back the dangerous path there leaves them undefended at the turret, and Cloud9 prying open another bit of damage on this tower. A lot of extra pressure as well. Smoothie does rotate over, and they get the teleport out to save it just in time, but cool breeze will blow that one over. Anyways, here we go. Finn does not flash this ultimate because he doesn't see anyone else on screen. Then, once your Prey Sticker hits though, Blaber, really good job by him, goes all in on it, and Fudge has the tower aggro from walking in range first, so really good management there and communication on that tower dive. Because if you ult in first on Rek'Sai and Fudge actually waited outside tower aggro, then Blaber probably would have had to blow summoner spells there in addition to be able to get out and not give the counter kill.
Wow. Oh, Turtle actually going in, finds the Gale Force, but not enough damage, just barely misses the kill onto Zven, who did cleanse a little late, but early enough to not get killed as bubbles are continuing to rain down towards Cloud9. CLG actually counter pushing very nicely thanks to that poke between Zoe and Xayah, and they should be able to get this tower.
Very strong in the group. Remember again, with the early Rell lock-in, and even Xayah, very, very difficult AD carry to dive in on. For the Alistar, for the Rek'Sai, for the Gragas that are trying to get in there. Turtle with his ultimate and flash available, very, very safe for them. So CLG have a lot of tools to choose.
Oh, Blaber's in there. The Prowler's claws popped, and that's going to be a 1v1 kill under the tower. He goes with the ulti, and Rek'Sai collects it. And now Blaber's got to figure out a way to get out here. He's going to be put to sleep very soon. Going to get spun on an Ept, and that's Broxah with a very nice trade.
All right, Blaber does take down the mid laner, but going that deep under the tower ends up just being the one-for-one trade. Broxah happy to get some cash back for himself as well. Honestly, on these Rek'Sai plays, especially since he used Flash for it, I think CLG pretty happy with how that one turned out. Their mid tower still gets to stand because no extra pressure after the fact and the trade kill going through. Still scaling up.
I like to think that they're both happy. Like, CLG's happy, but Blaber's also happy. He's like, yeah, it was worth it. I got some gold. I got a second serrated Dirk. I'm feeling it.
I don't know. It feels really bad to me. Whenever I burn Flash as Rek'Sai and you're not getting like a nice, a positive, a big gain, just one for one there. But did get a kill on the solo laner, so higher level, more experience.
All worth it in the end, as Luden's Tempest picked up there for Perkz. He's kind of invincible, by the way. I was alluding to it earlier, but this may indeed be the future of mid lane mages. Mercury Treads and Verdant Barrier. Going to be going Banshee second there on the Ryze. I mean, Ryze already good, kind of as like an AP bruiser, if you will, right? Where he needs to live a little longer than your average mage because he's not ult burst. He's much more about sustained DPS. But I mean, I don't really know what RJS and Broxah can do without a lot of time here trying to kill Perkz, because he's going to be in the side lane forever and mostly going to be attacked by at least a magic damage jungler, if not also a magic damage side laner. So Perkz very well set up here with some nice farm, actually smashing RJS in overall farm right now.
Yep, CLG do have first move onto the river though, so I like the setup here. They have plenty of tools to look for picks with. Your Swirl Seed from Lillia and your Bubbles. There we go though.
Smoothie finds a lineup, gets two there with the Magnet Storm. Blaber just dead. That's going to be the Dragon, but it could be more for Cloud9. CLG going to go golden there for Broxah as the junglers may die on both sides, but Perkz now still going to have to cut it out, but he dies to the AD. That's what it was, as Vulcan now going to bounce out there as Zven going to move in onto Turtle. Vulcan looking low, Sven's going to finish him off, and CLG looking good. Turtle needs to live, will not be able to do so as Fudge finishes finishes him off with a Q, and now Finn still chasing onto Zven. Zven can't really run anywhere, and definitely Gragas can't run anywhere. Zven is going to get dunked, and Fudge going to be killed as well. CLG start up to play, and they're going to finish it with an ace. Indeed, it will be as Finn nails that triple kill.
Don't give Smoothie Rell. Honestly, don't give anybody Rell PastryTime. I feel like this champ is so good at getting these setups. Smoothie goes for the initiation on CLG's terms, and we see what a Rek'Sai does without flash in team fights here. Easily navigated in the early stages by WildTurtle. Here's a look at it. They get some tremor sense on it, but Blaber goes in, and Smoothie's like, perfect timing. Boom! Locked up that Rek'Sai. Blaber didn't get to do anything there. Punished for the aggressive move, and then Turtle is able to pick up the extra kill onto Perkz here. And even with this long chase, as Zven ults over to him, flashes over to follow, they've already got such a lead in the team fight, and Zven positioning here already right next to Finn means that Finn is able to chase him down. Big Q right there as he walked right back into it. And CLG, they get the kill here as well as picking up the dragon. This is number 3, stopping Cloud9 from building on that momentum. Let's see what this Rek'Sai can do towards the later stages, but I think Cloud9 really do need to make use of Perkz in a side lane, getting some pushing here for Ryze so that things like Rek'Sai can have more isolated fights. Does a lot better in 1v1 or outnumbered situations where you can jump on them, kill them in the full burst. Here we go, might get one here.
TP in as well, Smoothie already looking low. Blaber just assassinates Rell.
Vengeance.
And the health bar disappears. Here comes Fudge. Now going to TP up and use the topside pressure instead. Turtle no ulti. It's back up in a couple seconds, but it's got no flash. Fudge bounces him back with the Gale Force. Maybe going to keep Perkz alive. The root onto Perkz. He's going to be put to sleep as well, but Turtle is going to die. It's just a matter of who gets the kill. The Featherstone's back up, but it's not enough to save him. And now Finn fighting on the other side as RJS finds a great bubble there on the Finn, but now the bounce back for Zven as he Killer Instincts through the Aatrox. Blaber puts the ulti down onto Finn as he's going to have to flash over the wall to safety, and C9 answer back with a team fight win of their own.
Yeah, just like that, they're going to get some picks on top side and start up the Baron. The rewards for this one are going to be quite a bit bigger. PastryTime. Zoe still poking around with bubbles, though.
Oh, Perkz, what a good sidestep, though. Gets the root as well. Needs to follow up with a bit of extra perk to keep Zoe away from the pit. RJS, though, still peppering the Paddle Stars in, but Cloud9, they're dedicated to finishing this Baron.
They're here.
Smoothie back, though, but he's got no ulti. That's going to be a knockback there for Vulcan. Fudge also getting low. The Baron is going to go over. Somebody needs to hit it. Indeed, it is Zven that collects it. And now Cloud9, it's time to retreat. Over the wall goes Blaber, over the wall goes Fudge, and everyone's safe as they escape with a Red Bull Baron buff.
Nobody goes down there, Pastry. I was shaking because Blaber didn't have Smite that whole time, and it's a 4v5 situation. So Cloud9 they've got to be breathing a sigh of relief right there. Vulcan just takes it up. He charges in, headbutts them away from the Baron. Basically the bouncer at the entrance to the Baron alcove here keeps out CLG. They don't power through, and Cloud9, off the back of those picks on top side of the map, they pick up the Baron for themselves. They will get right back out to it. That's exactly what you need to empower this Ryze. Perkz now can go to the side lane. C9 can push all 3 lanes. They've got so many standing towers right now to get some gold off of. Top outer and bottom outer should be the ones picked up first. That will have pretty big rewards.
Yep, already up, close to 2,000 gold, and it should be a lot more than that, assuming they can knock the structures they're looking for down. Fudge is going to start in the top side, which is one of the easier places to look for, and bottom side also, as you mentioned, looking nice and low. But Perkz busy with the mid lane right now. Vulcan also roaming through the Infernal Rift, but there's a lot of extra space for Alistar to go recon some info. This top side will fall, and looks like Cloud9 are going to lean over to this top half of the map, try and pressure for a few more towers before the Baron runs out in about 1:30.
And I love this from Blaber. He has picked up the stopwatch after completing the Edge of Night for Spell Shield. This gives you so many more options for the coming team fight. You have, normally you're on a one-way ticket and you're looking for that trade. You're trying to kill a high-value target. Use your flash, use your Prowler's Claw, get in there, get some damage done before you know they're going to take you out. But with the stopwatch, if you put extra points in the E early on, it can buy you enough time to just take a tunnel back out. It doesn't have to be a one-way trip here. So Cloud9 at a very big power spike right now, slowly using the Baron buff to continue to whittle down on these secondary towers. They already locked up the top outer one. Mid-secondary goes down as well. Definitely some good, calm, and persistent use of it here. be able to get some more map territory under their belts before Dragon spawns.
Yep, had the wave set up for bottom as well, so they also collected that. So they'll be up in towers at the end of this play. They're up about almost 3,000 gold as they look to play for this next dragon here and put themselves on soul point. But CLG are going to have to move in and clear this out. They've only got 15 seconds to do the work, and Cloud9 have already overtaken that river. It is dark for both sides now, but Cloud9 are, of course, the first to move into the area. So Broxah going to put down that control ward, but Perkz going to quickly deal with that.
All right, the moment of truth has come. Cloud9 already positioning on the dragon. Plenty of wards here, and Blaber goes.
Blaber already in. Does maybe have the ulti. No, not going to commit it just yet. Vulcan, though, back in. That was the bait and switch they wanted as Fudge looked for the kill, and Blaber finds the ulti kill. Now Broxah going to go golden, but he's got 1 pixel of health left as Zven's going to take out Smoothie. Perkz is going to take out Broxah, and Cloud9 fainted for the dragon and took 3 kills instead. As now Perkz is flashing in. Zven is killer instincting over. That's a double kill for the Kaisa, and maybe make it the ace as Finn is the only one for CLG left alive as Fudge, ever persistent, said, "You remember me in top lane? That wasn't very nice. So I'm going to have my buddy Perkz come up here and try and take you up. Be careful though, Fudge, because that tower is awfully strong." But Perkz going to take the next shot. C9 going to break through mid, and they'll get the in-hit plus 4 kills to boot.
Oh, Pastry, that 1-2 punch from Blaber and Vulcan was so beautiful to watch. Blaber goes in, he draws out WildTurtle's ultimate initially using his Prowler's Claw to get over there. He jumps up into the air. As soon as that is down, Vulcan immediately punishes. Turtle then not able to get away because Blaber still had him marked from the previous damage he did to him. Rek'Sai ult is in, and CLG just collapsed at the decisive engage from Cloud9. This is something C9 have done so well, regardless of rosters. Here we go, though. Perkz now going to be the victim.
1v3, 1v4. Can he get... Nope, okay, never mind. Shut down by Finn very swiftly with that empowered Q. And Perkz is finally punished for being in the side lane.
Really like how decisive they're being with a lot of these picks here, especially for Cloud9. Right after multiple moves from CLG to get some objectives or get an area of the map, Cloud9 are constantly looking for that proactive play, and that's always something we've associated with Blaber, but he's really, really embraced it here. Definitely good stuff from him. Chem Tank, Prowler's Claw, and another Chem Tank on the side of Cloud9 already here. So you have to watch out for flanks from the Gragas and Alistar, as well as Blaber, honestly, just charging straight at your face.
All right, well, next Dragon is up in 4 minutes. Next Baron, though, up in just over a minute here as Cloud9 can look to maybe take that one off the map again. In full control of the game at this point, 4,000 gold ahead. Feeling good as far as overall gold and items go. And in fact, as I say that, Perkz has finished his Void stuff. So he's absolutely ready to machine gun down some people. In fact, hasn't even gone to Banshees that I predicted he would go second. He's just holding on to that verdant barrier for dear life. Doesn't
that
need
thing
that
has
right
some value.
Certainly does.
Yeah. Anytime you get that juiced in stats, definitely good gold value there. Very, very popular nowadays. Meanwhile, Cloud9 with the very, very substantial gold lead for themselves. It's so easy now to just clear out CLG's wards. You want to slowly move up. You can starve them out of any sort of vision or extra resources here with Barons spawning only 17 seconds away. Cloud9 don't have to overextend, and they're just slowly moving up. Control wards down, and mid-wave pushed as well as the steal from Perkz. A little bit more insult there.
Just walked in and took the blue buff. I had Blaber, I guess, behind him as his team was pushing in mid, so it wasn't a complete solo mission, but very rude there for Perkz, but does get himself a blue, which is going to help this siege on the top tier 2, because Cloud9 likely want to be falling back to Baron, although Zven is currently taking a recall. Probably has his 3rd item already finished. CLG trying to counter push mid here, looking if they can find a straggler. That's a good one, but Zven going to dodge the bubble. Now probably has to leave. Does indeed have to do so. There's 3 people behind Zven right now, but he's going to run towards the loving arms of Perkz as Vulcan has found himself in a very cheeky spot. Oh, he gets found out though. RJS checking that brush. And now CLG may be looking for the Baron, but Vulcan's actually going to start the fight up already. He's stunned up RJS. Fudge with the big flank TP ward. And there's RJS. He's going to have to flash out of there. And now Zven going to run in with the killer instinct with the stasis. He's going to keep the Zoe alive. But Cloud9 now final in. Zven going to be on a killing spree as he takes down Smoothie. And it looks like absolute carnage here as Cloud9 are going to run over the rest of CLG. But Finn actually has found a way back through. He's going to get the knock up on the Perkz. Turtle also fighting back at CLG in a 2v2. It's a triple kill for Turtle. It's a quadra kill for Turtle. And CLG have turned it back around as Finn is going to send up the Penta for his new teammate as Turtle grabs the Penta kill.
Oh my goodness, CLG have done it. PastryTime, Baron #2, and the Bud Light Ace are theirs. What a peel here. Nobody could get on Turtle. Broxah had a good sleep to buy some time for them, and Turtle's ultimate never was blown. Nobody initiated on him this time around. That was such a big difference to the previous team fight, and then him and Finn pick up the Baron right afterwards. What a turnaround. We've got a little twist at the end of this game, PastryTime. It is definitely not over yet. 1 minute left on the next dragon. This one is for Infernal Soul, so CLG want to be able to use their Baron, push out very quickly on your mid and bottom waves, and then be able to move in towards this dragon. Don't give Cloud9 even the opportunity to try and get that smite away from it.
All right,
okay.
well, unsurprisingly, this is the 100 performance play, Kobe, and what a play it was from CLG.
All right, so Vulcan, he was waiting in that brush with the flank. Good ultimate initially from Fudge, but they're focusing a lot on RJS, and he commits in on him who has Azanias. If you watch Turtle on the backside, only Vulcan was able to get in there. No extra damage. Turtle holds onto his ultimate. Fudge, or Finn on the front line is just blasting everybody, making space for Turtle, and he can easily move in to pick them up. What a guy here. Finn, he got CLG their first win, and this time around setting up Turtle for the Penta kill, raising up his teammates as well. CLG really starting to come into their own here over the season, where they've really had to deal with so many roster swaps, and yet Broxah's first day on the job already looking good.
Yeah, he bought a great amount of time there with his ulti, despite dying when it stays. His Perkz is busy split pushing because Cloud9 have maybe thought about the 5v5 and how it's not so fun, especially with CLG having Baron. So they will lose that top inhibitor tower. Perkz can maybe revisit, but again, took cleanse for this matchup. Doesn't have TP, just has his ulti. CLG going to run in and get a pretty quick Infernal take there, so they'll deny the soul away from Cloud9. Still up, actually not even up in gold, but still have Baron ready for another minute 15. So could knock down a few more towers, but it does seem like a reset is on the cards. And again, Turtle with 4 items finished, working on that fifth. Already has the upgraded boots, of course. CLG showing that, you know, if it's going to be like a full-on team fight, that's a place they feel pretty comfy.
We have had so many pentakills already this season, PastryTime.
Shortest season ever.
Sometimes we'll go an entire year without a single pentakill, and already we've got 3. Turtle here picking up one for himself, feeling very good about it. Let's see, with this Baron buff, though, trying to push back out on top side. You see Finn working away in the 1v1 with Perkz. Blaber now eyes on Turtle again, trying to blow some cooldowns. Yeah.
Does have GA, does have Edge of Night, so like has some good tools, but of course not going to survive a full Zoe combo, and barely survived that bit of poke out of CLG. So they will continue on the offensive, moving towards the top side of the map, where Perkz is going to have to watch himself.
And this is why I love Xayah so much. A lot of defensive capabilities built into the champion. Turtle here. Oh my goodness. Gets chucked out pretty quickly there, though. Probably needs to go lifesteal off something first. Let me hit the minions, please.
No minions. No fun. Turtle just going to have to walk away. Look at Fudge. He's like, all right, I think we can go here. Rest of Cloud9 spy the weakened Turtle and want to try and take him out, but there's the minion wave finally arriving.
Keep your eyes as well. CLG now, they have a very, very short list of things to do. Mark, Fudge, Blaber, Vulcan. They need to ward their flanks. They have to keep eyes on these engagers, because those 3 are all going to be looking towards Turtle, trying to find an angle to get on him, like we saw in their successful move from Cloud9 towards mid lane, where Blaber's able to jump on him. They burn the ultimate and then re-engage from Vulcan. The team for CLG has to rally around him, because if they keep him upright, there's so much damage output here from the full crit combo from Turtle that he will be able to carry them. Despite being down in gold, despite this extra dragon lead for Cloud9, CLG have quite a strong team fight.
I mean, definitely feeling empowered after the Penta. Fun fact, Zven is the other player with the 2 Pentas you mentioned to make up the 3. So yep, all the Penta kills are currently in this game. Perkz also just finished his Rabadon, so he is a very real threat. Now, Zven is also, of course, going to be big in any sort of late game. But
it's open.
It's a very real damage shot. It is indeed open.
Mid-open, Pastry. They are split
over.
pushing. Of course it's kind of comical, but they are split pushing bottom side. You see Perkz down there working away at this tower. Does get a secondary one for himself, but CLG will be very happy to pick up this inhib.
They trying to race here? Perkz can get a lot of damage done. There's actually only 3 towers left for CLG, unless I'm missing one. I might be. But Perkz is going to take that one out. Now he's opened up the inhibitors. They're all exposed. Perkz is like kind of making a bid towards the Nexus here. But not
Ryze actually does so much
a lot of damage.
To structures now as well with these AP builds. He's got his death cap completed. Since the Archangel's transformation does so much, converting all that mana to AP too, definitely hits quite hard.
So at the end of it, we actually trade inhibitors. And I think if you're Cloud9, you're happier to trade your mid inhib for one of their side inhibs. In this case, it's bottom, which is maybe going to set you up for this Soul Dragon, because it's much, much easier to push out the supers in mid than it is in one of the side lanes.
Of course, bottom side is always the best because it's also further away from Baron, so you can split the map a little bit easier. And again, Cloud9, they want to pressure the side lanes. They want to get first move on these minion waves because they're the ones looking for all these flank angles. But here goes CLG, grouped up as 5, running them down.
Well, that TP is very ambitious from Finn, but it maybe is the flank they wanted. He's taking a little bit too much damage, but onto Blaber he goes. Now Blaber gonna have to run away. The GA does pop as Fudge ultis already to try and kick out the rest of CLG, but they're continuing that fight. Smoothie again finds 2 with the Magnet Storm, and now Finn and Broxah are trying to fight for their life as Vulcan's taking it up, but Turtle, he finds the kill onto Perkz. That's what CLG wanted. They try and rush down one of C9's carries and they get it, but now Zven is still alive and he's shooting everybody as Smoothie's got only a couple points of health left, but Finn does block the incoming W. So CLG, they win the fight and they're pushing through mid. Cloud9 have to respond very quickly.
Oh, RJS trying to stop the backs as well. They've got the minion wave to work with. Blaber's here to try and answer.
All right, Vulcan again can also kick a carry away from the tower, but one tower is going to fall. RJS late to the party, but Zven even later must have missed his invite in the mail because Cloud9 needs to get these minions out very, very quickly. And Fudge, he's going in on the total. They need to get the damage down, but it's not quite enough. There's the Resurrect as the Kaisa W does connect, but Cloud9 needs to commit. Oh, Fudge, he mistimed it, but it doesn't matter. Zven, he finds the shutdown. Now Finn's going to dive back in. He needs to kill this guy, but Zven's out of there. He KI's onto RJS, and now he's fighting 1v2. He gets the double. He's going to get 3. He's going to maybe get 4. It's his Penta. No, it's not. It's Finn who's going to keep the game alive for CLG, but 2v2 with no help on Broxah. It's support and jungle, both top lane and jungle, and nobody's really got much left as Blaber looking awfully menacing, but I don't know he can really do much as both teams walk away with only 4 people alive.
And remember, this is for Infernal Soul, this Drake that's on the map right now. Oh my god, I want a picture of it. I'm pretty sure they're going right for that Infernal Soul. CLG, though, they got greedy here. You see Fudge goes right in on Turtle. Big chunk there. Don't underestimate this Kaisa damage. Zven full combos him. They GA. Even though Fudge mistimes the revival on the GA, Finn is creating a lot of space here, and Zven is forced to ult in to the rest of the members of CLG, almost clutches out the entire thing here. But Finn with a big move to finish off that kill does save the game for them. Cloud9, they got the soul during the replay. They're working at the Baron too.
Yeah, actually Perkz has started soloing. In fact, it's so low already. Broxah can maybe get in, but no, he will be kept out. And Cloud9 are going to play for both objectives and secure them. A very bold late game call, but they do collect everything.
Hot damn, you knew there was going to be a lot of back and forth on these late game objectives in a CLG game. PastryTime. We get a 3rd Baron for this game, and it has switched hands once again. First one Cloud9, second one CLG, right back to Cloud9 now, and with the soul, this has definitely been a bit of a seesaw here. Banshee's finished now for Perkz as well. That is full build level 18 late game Ryze, fully operational.
And it's the same for Turtle. He's got that Bloodthirst to finish as his final item here. Zven also finished, by the way, so some pretty high-powered carries on either side.
But look at RJS. This Zoe is missing 2 item slots. Okay, he gets half of one there built up. Still has just a single ring there. But Perkz is just dominating. He's more than Flame Horizoned him from all this side lane play. This Ryze is definitely going to put out way more damage. And the Zoe has to find value in picking somebody off with a bubble or something, because She's fishing around for poke, whereas Perkz is, look at that, just crushing minion waves, and they are working their way towards the CLG base. Now the tables have turned. See if they can find that flank. Double chem tank, Prowler's Claw all ready for the Cloud9 engagers.
Well, Finn is the other big player for CLG as far as gold goes, so we'll see what happens, but this is a very tricky fight to navigate. With Baron buff, Supers are streaming in everywhere, already have bot in hip, now going to take mid in hip. Perkz just explodes poor Smoothie, and he's just going to be left for dead. Will be killed, pops the Magnus on, but it doesn't matter, attracting nothing but the fountain there as Cloud9 5v4 are going to move in to finish off this Nexus as Perkz. He's getting a little low, but low is not good enough. As CLG now still fighting, as Broxah getting low, Blaber diving in. He wants Turtle, that's all he's got in his mind as Fudge. He's going to dive in there as well, alongside Zven. He takes out Broxah with the Gale Force as Fudge dives in onto Turtle and makes sure the kill happens. And that is all they need with the Nexus open to take the game. It's going to be an ace at the end of it all as Finn, I take it back, is still going to live. But Blaber going to try and buy time for that to happen. Instead, it is Cloud9 finishing off the Nexus just under 40 minutes. What a game to kick off week 3.
Yeah, we could probably tell from some of the looks here they're not quite sure what to think of it either. Definitely a lot of back and forth in this game. CLG were knocking at the gates for Cloud9. But a little bit of face palm there as well. Yeah, maybe that was the mistimed Guardian Angel play. Could have been anything from this game, honestly. But in the end, you're glad to get the win.
Perkz looks exhausted. He's like, I mean, he did a lot of work.
Man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was like the side lane threat. He had all this farm. He's like, had to hit buttons for 40 minutes straight because, you know, that's how you have to play Ryze. CLG with Broxah in the lineup. Much more competitive than I think many would have thought playing up against the likes of Cloud9. So a very fun one to open up. But Kobe, I'm sure the audience needs a breather. We certainly do. So it's time for us to step away. But when we return, we'll head over to the State Farm Analyst Desk to break down that win.